Have you ever woken up feeling like you're just going through the motions? Like every day is on repeat, but you're not really moving forward. If you've ever felt lost, unmotivated, or unsure of your direction, you're not alone. The truth is, without purpose, life can feel empty. It's easy to get caught in routines, chasing things that don't truly fulfill us. Like chasing money, approval, or temporary success, while still feeling a deep void inside. But once you discover your purpose, everything changes. You wake up with energy, you push through challenges with resilience, and you live each day knowing you are working towards something that truly matters. Purpose is the fuel behind every great success story. It's the reason some people thrive even in adversity, while others crumble under pressure. And here's the best part. You don't have to have it all figured out to start. Today I'm going to help you take the first step toward discovering and living with purpose. This isn't just about motivation, it's about transformation. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I take you through a simple but powerful challenge that will help you unlock your purpose in just one day. Let's dive in. Number 1. The power of purpose. Why do some people wake up every morning with fire in their hearts, while others drag themselves through the day with no energy or direction? The answer is simple. Purpose. Purpose is the invisible force that fuels passion, resilience, and success. It is the reason why people keep pushing forward, even in the face of failure and obstacles. It's what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. Imagine two people climbing a mountain. One is driven by a deep purpose. Maybe it's proving something to themselves, creating a better life for their family, or achieving a lifelong dream. The other person climbs simply because someone told them to. Who do you think will keep going when the journey gets tough? Who will push through exhaustion, uncertainty, and difficulty? The answer is clear. When you have a strong purpose, you find the strength to keep moving no matter what stands in your way. The reality is, most people don't live with purpose, not because they don't want to, but because they've never taken the time to define it. Instead, they follow routines, go to jobs they don't enjoy, and chase material success without ever asking themselves, why am I doing this? But when you uncover your true purpose, everything shifts. You no longer need external motivation. You become self-driven. Challenges no longer feel like roadblocks, but stepping stones towards something greater. Think about every person who has ever changed the world. Great leaders, inventors, artists, and visionaries. What all have in common? A deep sense of purpose. Steve Jobs didn't just build computers. He had a vision to change the way people interacted with technology. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just give speeches. He was fighting for a cause greater than himself. Purpose is what creates greatness. But here's the best part. You don't need to be a world leader or a billionaire to live with purpose. Purpose isn't about fame, wealth, or status. It's about doing what makes you feel alive. It's about waking up every morning with the feeling that your life has meaning. It's about knowing that what you do, no matter how big or small, matters. The good news is, your purpose is already within you. It's not something you need to search for outside yourself. It's something you uncover by paying attention to what excites you, what challenges you, and what you deeply care about. Your purpose might be to create, to teach, to build, to inspire, to help, or to lead. It could be something as simple as making people smile, or as big as changing an industry. But whatever it is, it's yours to discover and pursue. So ask yourself, what excites me? What drives me? What would I do even if I wasn't getting paid for it? These are the clues that will lead you toward your true purpose. Once you find it, your entire life will change. Number 2. The trap of feeling lost. Have you ever felt like you're drifting through life without direction? Like every day blends into the next, and no matter what you achieve, something still feels missing. You're not alone. Millions of people feel stuck, unmotivated, and unsure of their next move. Not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack purpose. They wake up, go to work, go home, scroll through social media, and repeat the same cycle day after day, never truly feeling fulfilled. But why does this happen? And more importantly, how can you break free? The biggest trap people fall into is living without clarity. Instead of defining what they truly want, they let life happen to them. Society teaches us to follow a script, go to school, get a degree, find a job, make money, buy a house, and then somehow happiness will follow. But what happens when you check off all these boxes and still feel empty? The problem isn't that you haven't achieved enough. It's that you're chasing goals that aren't connected to a deeper purpose. When people don't have a strong reason driving them forward, they get stuck in autopilot mode. They settle for comfort instead of growth. They do what's expected instead of what excites them. And over time, this leads to frustration, burnout, and even resentment. They start questioning everything. Why am I even doing this? Does anything I do really matter? Is this all there is to life? These thoughts can be overwhelming, but they're actually a wake-up call, a sign that it's time for change. The key to breaking free from this cycle is to stop looking for external validation and start looking inward. Too many people let the opinions of others dictate their lives. They choose careers because their parents told them to. They chase success because society tells them it's important. They seek approval instead of fulfillment. But here's the truth. No one else can define your purpose for you. Purpose isn't something given to you. It's something you discover. Think about the last time you felt truly excited about something, when you were fully present, engaged, and passionate. Maybe it was when you were creating, helping someone, learning a new skill, or working toward a personal goal. That feeling of excitement wasn't random. It was a sign, a glimpse of what truly matters to you. But most people ignore these signs because they believe they have to follow a practical path. They tell themselves that's just a hobby, not a real career. That's unrealistic. That won't pay the bills. And so they push their true interests aside and settle for a life that feels safe but uninspiring. But what if you could change that? What if instead of pushing your interests aside, you leaned into them? What if instead of chasing someone else's definition of success, you created your own? This isn't about making reckless decisions or abandoning responsibilities. It's about being intentional. It's about asking yourself, what kind of life do I actually want? Breaking free from the trap of feeling lost starts with a decision. The decision to take control of your life. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to pursue what excites you. Stop telling yourself that you'll be happy someday when you get the promotion, when you make more money, when you retire. Happiness isn't something you postpone. It's something you create by living with purpose today. So how do you start? Begin by paying attention to what excites you, what challenges you, and what makes you feel alive. Write down the things you love doing, even if they don't seem practical right now. Reflect on the moments when you felt the most fulfilled. Look for patterns. And most importantly, give yourself permission to explore. You don't need to have all the answers right away. You just need to start. The biggest mistake people make is believing they need absolute clarity before they take action. But in reality, action creates clarity. The more you explore, the more you'll learn about yourself. The more you try, the more you'll refine your path. Your purpose isn't something you find overnight. It's something you uncover through experience, curiosity, and courage. So here's your challenge. Stop living on autopilot. Stop settling for a life that feels empty. Take the first step toward discovering what truly excites you. If you do, you'll never feel lost again. Instead, you'll wake up each day with direction, excitement, and the unstoppable drive that comes from living with purpose. Number 3. How a vision drives you forward. Imagine standing at a crossroads with no signs, no map, and no idea where you're supposed to go. You could take any path, but without direction. Every step feels uncertain. This is what life feels like without a clear vision of the future. When you don't know where you're going, it's easy to feel lost, stuck, and unmotivated. But the moment you create a vision, a strong, compelling picture of your future, everything changes. Your vision becomes the force that pulls you forward, even on the hardest days. Most people live reactively, simply responding to whatever life throws at them. They go through their routines, handle their responsibilities, and hope things work out. But hope is not a strategy. The most successful, fulfilled people don't just wait for life to happen. They design their future. They set clear goals, define what success looks like for them, and use their vision as a guide. Instead of being pushed around by circumstances, they are pulled forward by their dreams. But here's the secret. Your vision isn't just about where you want to go. It's about who you want to become. When you set a strong vision, you don't just create a destination, you create a path of transformation. You become the type of person who achieves that vision. If you dream of running a business, your vision doesn't just involve financial success. It involves developing leadership skills, building resilience, and mastering discipline. If you dream of being an artist, your vision isn't just about creating masterpieces. It's about becoming someone who is fearless in expressing themselves. Think about a farmer planting seeds in the spring. Why does he do it? Because he can already see the harvest. He knows that months from now his efforts will bear fruit. That vision of the future is what motivates him to do the hard work today. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you can clearly see your future success, you will do whatever it takes to make it real. But too many people never take the time to create a vision for their lives. They let the past define them instead of letting the future pull them forward. They replay old mistakes, past failures, and regrets, using them as reasons why they can't move ahead. But the past is not a predictor of the future. The only thing that matters is where you decide to go from here. Your future is waiting to be shaped, but you have to decide what it looks like. So how do you create a powerful vision? Start by asking yourself a simple but profound question. What do I really want? Not what society tells you to want. Not what your family or friends expect from you. What do you want? If there were no limits, no obstacles, and no fear, what kind of life would you build? Close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now. Where are you? What are you doing? How do you feel? What kind of person have you become? Don't just think about material things. Think about the impact you want to make, the kind of relationships you want to have, and the way you want to experience life. Make the vision as clear as possible, because clarity creates momentum. Once you define your vision, write it down. There's something powerful about putting it on paper. It turns an idea into a goal, and a goal into a commitment. Studies show that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. But don't just write a vague goal like, I want to be successful. Be specific. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, write, I want to wake up every morning with energy, run 5 miles without stopping, and feel confident in my body. Instead of saying, I want to be wealthy, write, I want to build a business that generates $100,000 per year while allowing me to travel the world. The clearer the vision, the stronger the pull. And here's the most important part. Your vision must excite you. It should be something that makes you feel energized just thinking about it. If your vision doesn't ignite passion inside you, you won't fight for it when things get tough. Your vision should feel so real that you can see it, hear it, and almost touch it. But a vision alone isn't enough. You must take action. Every day, ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that brings me closer to my vision? Small steps add up. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to move forward. As you take action, your vision will become clearer, and you will start attracting the right opportunities, people, and resources to help you make it a reality. Your future is not something you wait for, it's something you create. If you don't define your vision, life will define it for you. But when you take control of your future and give yourself a clear destination, you will wake up every day with energy, focus, and excitement. Let your future pull you forward, because the best version of you is waiting. Number 4, the power of asking. One of the most overlooked secrets to success and fulfillment is also one of the simplest tasks. It's asking the right questions. The way you shape your life depends on the questions you ask yourself every day. If you ask weak questions, you'll get weak answers. If you ask powerful questions, you'll get powerful results. The problem is, most people don't ask themselves the right questions at all. They drift through life, reacting to whatever happens, instead of actively designing the future. But what if you stopped for a moment and asked yourself, what do I truly want? What excites me? What impact do I want to make in this world? Most people never ask these questions because they're afraid of the answers. They fear that their true desires might be too big, too risky, or too different from what society expects. They convince themselves that they have to settle, that dreaming is unrealistic, and that life is about being practical. But practicality without purpose leads to a life of frustration. You weren't born just to survive. You were born to create, to contribute, and to thrive. Think about children. They ask hundreds of questions every day. They are curious, open-minded, and hungry for knowledge. They want to know how things work, why things happen, and what's possible. But as we grow older, that curiosity fades. We stop asking why and start accepting things as they are. We stop questioning the path we're on and start following it blindly, even if it doesn't make us happy. If you want to unlock your purpose, you have to rediscover the power of asking. Not just asking life for more, but asking yourself what truly matters. What are you naturally drawn to? What do you love doing so much that you do it even if no one paid you? What kind of problems do you feel passionate about solving? These questions are the key to unlocking a life of meaning and fulfillment. One of the biggest reasons people don't find their purpose is that they never take the time to reflect. They assume their purpose will magically reveal itself one day. But purpose isn't something you wait for. It's something you uncover through self-awareness and action. The people who live with the most passion and direction are the ones who take the time to ask, explore, and listen. They don't settle for vague answers like "I just want to be happy." They dig deeper. They ask themselves, what does happiness look like for me? What experiences, people, and contributions make me feel alive? But asking is just the first step. The second step is believing that the answers exist. Too many people give up before they even begin because they don't believe their dreams are possible. They see successful people and think, that's great for them, but it could never happen for me. But why not? The truth is, successful people aren't born with all the answers. They just start asking better questions. They ask, how can I make this happen? Who can I learn from? What steps can I take today? Think about some of the greatest innovators, leaders, and creators in history. Every breakthrough, every invention, and every movement started with someone asking a question. What if we could fly? What if we could communicate instantly across the world? What if we could cure diseases? These questions led to airplanes, the internet, medical advancements, and every major change that has shaped our world. The same principle applies to your life. Your next level begins with a question. But here's the catch. You have to be bold enough to ask without limits. Stop asking small questions that keep you stuck. Stop asking, how can I just get by? And start asking, how can I thrive? How can I make a real impact? Your mind will start finding solutions based on the questions you feed it. If you ask small, limiting questions, your brain will give you small, limiting answers. But if you ask empowering, expansive questions, your brain will open doors you never saw before. So here's your challenge. Take a few minutes today to ask yourself the right question. Grab a notebook or your phone and write down your answers to these questions. What do I truly love doing? What excites me and makes me lose track of time? If I had no fear, what would I pursue? What impact do I want to make in the world? What's stopping me from living the life I truly want? Be honest with yourself, let go of the need to be realistic, and allow yourself to dream. Your purpose is already within you, but it's buried under years of conditioning, fear, and distractions. The moment you start asking, you start peeling back those layers and getting closer to the truth of who you are. Your future is waiting, but it won't come to you unless you ask for it. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who sit back and hope for things to improve. They are the ones who step forward and demand more. They are the ones who ask big questions and take bold actions. So what are you asking for? Because the answers you seek are waiting for you to start asking. Number 5, why reasons matter more than goals. Everyone sets goals. Some people want to make more money, start a business, get in shape, travel the world, or build a dream home. But have you ever wondered why so many people set goals and never achieve them? It's not because they aren't capable. It's not even because they lack time or resources. It's because they don't have a strong enough reason behind their goals. A goal without a powerful reason is like a car without fuel. It doesn't matter how nice it looks if it can't take you anywhere. The problem is most people focus only on what they want, not why they want it. They write down goals like, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to make 6 figures. Or I want to buy a house. But they never ask themselves the most important question. Why does this goal matter to me? The truth is, your why is what will drive you forward when motivation fades, when obstacles appear, and when things get tough. If your reason is weak, you'll give up at the first sign of struggle. But if your reason is strong enough, you'll push through anything to achieve your goal. Think about 2 people who both set the same goal, running a marathon. One person wants to do it just because it seems like a fun challenge. The other person is doing it in honor of a loved one who battled illness, proving to themselves that they can overcome any hardship. Who do you think will train harder? Who will keep going when their body is exhausted and their legs are screaming for them to stop? The person with the stronger reason will always outlast the one without one. The same applies to every area of life. If your reason for success is simply, I want more money, it won't be enough to sustain you when challenges arise. But if your reason is deeper, like wanting to provide a better life for your family, break a cycle of poverty, or prove to yourself that you're capable of more, then no obstacle will stop you. The bigger the why, the easier the how. This is why so many people struggle with consistency. They start out excited but quickly lose momentum because they never identified a strong enough purpose for their goals. They rely on motivation, but motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is fueled by a deep reason. When your why is clear, you don't need motivation. You just do what needs to be done. Take a moment to think about your biggest goal right now. Maybe it's financial success, career growth, physical transformation, or personal development. Now ask yourself, why do I want this? And don't settle for a surface level answer. Keep digging deeper. Ask yourself again and again. Why does this matter to me? What will achieving this goal do for my life? How will it impact my future? When you find an answer that makes you emotional, something that gives you chills or brings tears to your eyes, you've found your real. Sometimes your why isn't just about you. Some of the most powerful reasons come from wanting to make a difference in the lives of others. Parents push themselves because they want to give their children a better life. Entrepreneurs work tirelessly because they want to create jobs and opportunities for their communities. Leaders step up because they want to inspire and uplift others. When your why is bigger than you, your strength becomes limitless. But what happens if you realize that your current goals don't really excite you? That's a sign that you need to reevaluate and realign your goals with your true purpose. Too many people chase things they think they should want, instead of what actually fulfills them. Society tells us that success is about money, status, or material possessions. But real success is about living a life that feels meaningful to you. If your goals don't light a fire inside you, it's time to redefine them. Here's a challenge for you. Write down your top 3 goals. Then for each one, ask yourself why it truly matters. Keep asking until you get to the deepest, most emotional reason. If you don't feel an emotional connection to your why, it's time to either adjust your goal or dig deeper into your true motivations. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are simply the ones with the strongest reasons. They are the ones who refuse to quit because their why is too important to abandon. They are the ones who wake up every day driven by something bigger than themselves. So what is your why? Find it, strengthen it, and let it drive you forward. Because when your reasons are strong enough, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Number 6. The one-day challenge. Aligning actions with purpose. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a clear sense of direction, knowing exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Imagine feeling a deep connection between your daily actions and your bigger purpose in life. Most people drift through their days on autopilot, completing tasks without asking themselves if those tasks actually move them closer to a meaningful goal. But what if for just one day, you lived with absolute intention? What if every decision you made, from the moment you woke up to the moment you went to bed, was aligned with your purpose? That's the challenge I'm giving you today. One day of complete alignment with your purpose. Here's why this challenge is so powerful. When you act with purpose, everything changes. You stop wasting time on distractions. You stop making excuses. You start prioritizing what truly matters. And the best part? When you experience how fulfilling it feels to live this way for just one day, you'll want to keep doing it again and again. So how do you begin? The first step is starting your day with clarity. Before you reach for your phone, before you get caught up in the demands of work or responsibilities, take 5 minutes to ask yourself a simple but powerful question. What is my purpose today? Your purpose doesn't have to be a grand mission like changing the world. It can be something as simple as making progress toward a personal goal, showing up as your best self for your family, or using your skills to help others. The key is to set an intention that gives meaning to your actions. Once you've identified your purpose for the day, the next step is aligning your actions with that purpose. Too often we let distractions and habits dictate our day, instead of actively choosing what serves our higher goals. This challenge requires you to be intentional about your time. Ask yourself, are my actions supporting my purpose, or are they pulling me away from it? If your purpose is to grow your business, are you spending time learning and taking action, or are you scrolling through social media? If your purpose is to improve your health, are you making choices that support that goal, or are you falling back into habits? Every action should be a conscious decision that moves you forward. Throughout the day, remind yourself of your purpose. Write it down. Keep it visible. When distractions come up, and they will use your purpose as a filter. If something doesn't align with your goals, let it go. You'll be surprised at how much energy you save when you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Another key element of this challenge is your mindset. It's easy to let negativity, doubt, or stress take over your day. But when you're living with purpose, you become more aware of your thoughts. Instead of saying, I have to do this, shift your perspective to, I get to do this. Every task, no matter how small, becomes meaningful when you connect it to a greater purpose. Even something as simple as going to work can feel different when you remind yourself that your job is funding your dreams, supporting your family, or giving you valuable experience. By the end of the day, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, did I live with purpose today? Did my actions align with my goals? How did it feel? You might find that you were more productive, more focused, and even more fulfilled than usual. You might realize that some of the things you normally stress about don't actually matter. You might even feel a renewed sense of excitement about your future. This reflection is crucial because it helps reinforce the connection between purpose and action. Here's the truth. If you can do this for one day, you can do it for a lifetime. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence, luck, or talent. It's the ability to stay aligned with purpose day after day. This one-day challenge is proof that you don't have to wait for the right moment to start living with purpose. You don't need more time, more resources, or more confidence. You just need to make the decision to start today. So will you take the challenge? Will you commit to just one day of living intentionally, making decisions that align with your higher purpose? Because once you experience what it feels like, you'll never want to go back to drifting through life again. Number 7. How to overcome obstacles with purpose. Every journey worth taking is filled with challenges. No matter how strong your vision is, no matter how deep your passion runs, obstacles will come. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when doubt creeps in, when the weight of responsibilities feels too heavy. But here's the truth. Your ability to overcome obstacles is directly tied to your sense of purpose. When you know why you're doing something, you will always find a way to keep going. The stronger your purpose, the stronger your resilience. Think about anyone who has ever achieved something great. Did they get there without setbacks? Absolutely not. Every successful person has faced rejection, failure, disappointment, and hardship. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not luck, not talent, but the willingness to keep going despite the struggle. And that willingness comes from having a reason bigger than the challenge itself. Many people let obstacles define them. They hit a roadblock and assume it means they're on the wrong path. They see failure as proof that they aren't capable. But obstacles are not signs to stop. They are tests to see how much you really want something. If your purpose is weak, you'll find an excuse to quit. But if your purpose is strong, you'll find a way through. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that struggles are unique to them. They look at successful people and assume their path was smooth, that things just worked out for them. But if you look deeper, you'll find that every success story is built on a foundation of failures. Walt Disney was fired from a job for lacking creativity. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. What kept them going? Purpose. When you face an obstacle, the first step is to reconnect with your why. Ask yourself, why did I start this journey? Why does this matter to me? Remind yourself of the bigger picture. Struggles feel unbearable when you focus only on the pain, but when you shift your perspective to the purpose behind your struggle, you regain your strength. Instead of seeing difficulties as problems, see them as steps on the path to your goal. Every challenge is shaping you into the person you need to become to reach your vision. The second step is to change your mindset about failure. Most people fear failure, so they avoid risk, stay in their comfort zones, and settle for less than they are capable of. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. The people who accomplish great things are the ones who are willing to fail, learn, and keep going. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what will I learn if I try? Another powerful way to overcome obstacles is to seek solutions instead of focusing on problems. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to dwell on what went wrong, but successful people don't waste time complaining. They look for solutions. Instead of saying, I don't know how to do this, say, how can I figure this out? Instead of thinking, this isn't working, ask, what can I do differently? Your brain is wired to find answers, but only if you ask the right questions. And perhaps one of the most important tools in overcoming obstacles is your environment. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or drag you down. If you're around people who always complain, who give up easily, who make excuses, you will start adopting the same mindset. But if you surround yourself with people who push through struggles, who see challenges as opportunities, who encourage and inspire you, you will develop the same resilience. Find people who remind you of your strength when you forget it. Finally, take action. When you feel stuck, the worst thing you can do is nothing. Even the smallest step forward is better than standing still. If you've hit a roadblock, adjust your approach, learn a new skill, seek guidance, but don't stop moving. Progress doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Every small step forward weakens the power of doubt and strengthens the power of belief. Obstacles are not here to stop you. They are here to build you. They are preparing you for the next level. They are shaping you into someone who can handle the success that is coming. So when you face a challenge, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, how is this happening for me? Because the moment you stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as stepping stones, you will realize that nothing can truly stand in your way. Stay strong, stay committed, and remember your purpose is bigger than any obstacle you will ever face. Number 8, surround yourself with the right people. The people you surround yourself with have an undeniable impact on your success, your mindset, and ultimately, your purpose. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is shaping you every single day. Your thoughts, habits, beliefs, and even your level of motivation are influenced by the people you spend the most time with. If you want to live with purpose and achieve extraordinary things, you must be intentional about your environment and who you allow to influence you. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to naturally grow, succeed, and push themselves to new heights, while others stay stuck in the same patterns for years? The difference isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's influence. When you are surrounded by people who constantly push themselves, who set big goals, who refuse to settle, that mindset rubs off on you. On the other hand, when you're surrounded by negativity, mediocrity, and excuses, you start to adopt those beliefs as well. The truth is, your environment either lifts you up or holds you back. It either fuels your dreams or drains your energy. If you spend time around people who complain about life, blame others for their problems, and make excuses for why they can't succeed, guess what happens? You start doing the same. You start doubting yourself. You start lowering your standards. But when you surround yourself with people who think big, who take action, who encourage growth, you naturally rise to that level. Take a moment to think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Ask yourself, are they pushing me toward my goals or pulling me away from them? Do they inspire me or drain me? Do they challenge me to become better, or do they keep me comfortable? If your current environment isn't pushing you forward, it's time to make a change. That doesn't mean cutting people out of your life completely, but it does mean being intentional about where you invest your time and energy. Seek out relationships that support your growth. Find mentors, join communities of like-minded people, and build a circle that challenges and uplifts you. One of the biggest myths about success is that you have to do it alone. The reality is, every successful person has a strong support system. Behind every great athlete is a coach. Behind every successful entrepreneur is a network of advisors and peers. Behind every thriving individual is a group of people who believe in them. You were never meant to do this alone, but influence goes beyond just the people around you. It also includes the information you consume. Your mind is shaped by what you feed it. If you spend hours scrolling through social media, watching negative news, or listening to people who complain, that's what your mindset will reflect. But if you fill your mind with books, podcasts, and content that inspires and educates you, your perspective changes. You start seeing possibilities instead of limitations. You start believing in yourself at a deeper level. This is why constant learning and self-improvement are non-negotiable. The most successful people never stop growing. They read books, they seek mentorship, they invest in personal development. They understand that in order to reach the next level, they must continue to learn, adapt, and evolve. If you're not actively growing, you're slowly declining. If you don't have the right environment right now, create it. You don't need permission to change your surroundings. Join online groups, attend seminars, listen to inspiring people, and put yourself in spaces that force you to think bigger. Even if you don't have successful or driven people around you, you can create a virtual environment that pushes you forward. Read biographies of great leaders, listen to motivational speakers, and immerse yourself in the mindset of success. You are responsible for the environment you allow yourself to be in. And here's something important to remember. Not everyone will understand your journey. When you're striving for more, there will be people who doubt you, who criticize you, who try to pull you back. That's because when you grow, you challenge the comfort zones of those around you. Some people won't like that, and that's okay. You are not responsible for making others comfortable at the expense of your own growth. At the end of the day, you have 2 choices. Stay in an environment that keeps you stagnant, or create an environment that pushes you toward your purpose. The people you surround yourself with will either help you build your dreams or slowly destroy them. Choose wisely. Number 9, the secret habit of highly successful people. If you've ever wondered what separates the most successful people in the world from those who struggle to make progress, the answer is simple. Successful people have habits that keep them on track, no matter what. They don't just set goals and hope for the best. They build systems that guarantee progress. And perhaps the most powerful habit they all share is the ability to set, adjust, and strengthen their goals constantly. Most people set goals once, maybe at the start of a new year after watching an inspiring video, or during a moment of motivation. But then life happens. Distractions come in, challenges arise, and before they know it, those goals are forgotten. Successful people don't allow this to happen because they review and reinforce their goals every single day. They don't wait until they feel motivated to take action. They create routines that keep them aligned with their vision. Think about it. How often do you take the time to check in with yourself? How often do you reflect on whether your daily actions are moving you closer to your dreams? If you're like most people, the answer is not often enough. And that's exactly why people drift through life, stuck in the same patterns, year after year. Without reflection, there is no growth. Without tracking progress, there is no improvement. Without clarity, there is no direction. The most successful people in the world make self-reflection a daily habit. At the end of each day, they ask themselves simple but powerful questions like, did I move closer to my goals today? Did I take actions that align with my purpose? What did I learn today that will help me grow? These small moments of reflection create massive change over time. When you hold yourself accountable daily, you start noticing the gaps in your progress. You start recognizing patterns in your behavior. You become aware of where you're succeeding and where you need to improve. This self-awareness is what allows you to make adjustments before small problems turn into big failures. But it's not just about reflection. It's about intentionally setting goals and designing a system that makes success inevitable. Highly successful people don't just rely on willpower or motivation. They build structures that keep them on track. They create morning routines that set the tone for their day. They schedule time for learning and self-improvement. They eliminate distractions and prioritize the things that truly matter. They don't just hope they'll stay focused. They make sure they do. One of the most underrated secrets of success is tracking progress. Most people set goals and then forget about them. But successful people keep their goals visible. They write them down. They review them daily. They measure their progress, and they adjust when necessary. If something isn't working, they don't quit. They refine their approach. They treat their growth like a scientist running experiments, always learning, always improving. Another key habit of high achievers is their ability to stay flexible while staying committed. They understand that path to success is never a straight line. Obstacles will come, plans will change, unexpected challenges will arise. But instead of letting these things stop them, they adapt. They don't change their goals. They change their strategies. Think about someone training for a marathon. If an injury prevents them from running for a few weeks, do they quit? No. They adjust their training plan, focus on other forms of exercise, and keep their vision in mind. The same applies to any big goal in life. It's not about avoiding difficulties. It's about learning how to navigate them. So what can you do today to start building this habit? Start small. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I do today that moved me closer to my goals? What distractions held me back? What is one thing I can improve tomorrow? Write your answers down. Keep a notebook or use your phone if that's easier. The act of writing forces clarity. It turns vague thoughts into concrete awareness. Over time, this simple habit will help you make smarter decisions, avoid repeating mistakes, and become more intentional about how you spend your time. Success is not about making one big dramatic change. It's about consistently making small improvements. The people who achieve the most aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are simply the ones who stay focused, stay disciplined, and never stop refining their process. They don't leave success up to chance. They build it, one habit at a time. If you want to create real change in your life, don't just set goals. Create a system that keeps you moving toward them every single day. Because in the end, success isn't about luck or talent. It's about the habits you build and the actions you take, consistently. Number 10. Take control and design your future. Your future is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. Every successful, fulfilled person in history has one thing in common. They took control of their lives instead of letting life control them. They didn't wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or someone else's permission. They made a decision to step forward, to take action, and to shape their own destiny. Now, it's your turn. If you've made it this far, you already understand the power of purpose. You know that success doesn't come from luck or talent alone. It comes from living with intention, surrounding yourself with the right people, overcoming obstacles, and building powerful habits. But all of that knowledge means nothing unless you take action. Knowing what to do is easy. Doing it is what separates the achievers from the dreamers. The biggest mistake people make is waiting. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they have more time, more money, more confidence. But waiting is the enemy of progress. The truth is, you will never feel 100% ready. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be doubts. But successful people don't wait until they feel fearless. They act despite their fears. They take small steps forward, and with each step, their confidence grows. So where do you start? Start by deciding what you want. Not what society tells you to want. Not what your family expects from you. What do you want for your life? If you could design your ideal future, what would it look like? Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Where are you? What are you doing? What kind of person have you become? Get specific. The clearer your vision, the easier it will be to take action. Once you have a vision, break it down into steps. Too many people get overwhelmed by their dreams because they only see the big picture. They think, I want to start a business, but I don't know how. I want to get in shape, but it feels impossible. I want to travel the world, but I don't have the money. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you can do right now. If you want to start a business but don't know where to begin, start researching, read books, take online courses, connect with people who have done it before. If you want to get in shape, don't wait until next Monday. Go for a walk today. If you want to travel, start saving $1 a day. Progress happens in small, consistent actions. And here's the most important part. Hold yourself accountable. No one else is coming to save you. No one else is going to make your dreams come true. It's up to you. You are responsible for your own growth, your own success, and your own happiness. If you want something, you have to commit to it fully. Set deadlines. Track your progress. Stay disciplined, even when motivation fades. But what if you fail? Good. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every great achiever has failed more times than they can count. The difference is, they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it. They adjusted their approach. They kept moving forward. You will stumble. You will make mistakes. But as long as you keep going, you will never truly fail. And remember, this isn't just about you. When you live with purpose, when you push yourself to grow, you inspire others to do the same. Your success isn't just about achieving personal goals. It's about making an impact. It's about showing others what's possible. It's about leaving a legacy. So here's your challenge. Take one action today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, write down your vision. Set a goal. Make a plan. Take one step toward your future. Because once you start moving, once you start living with intention, you'll never want to go back to drifting through life. Your purpose is waiting. Your future is in your hands. Take control and design the life you were meant to live. At the end of the day, your life is shaped by the choices you make. You can choose to drift through life, reacting to circumstances, letting days slip by without real meaning. Or you can choose to take control, to define your purpose, and to live with intention. The choice is yours. Every great success story begins with a single decision. The decision to step forward, to stop waiting, and to start creating. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to start. Because clarity comes from action, not from waiting. The moment you take that first step, everything begins to shift. Remember this, your purpose isn't something you find. It's something you uncover. It's already within you, waiting for you to acknowledge it, waiting for you to take action. And once you do, life becomes exciting again. Challenges don't feel like roadblocks. They feel like lessons. Obstacles don't break you. They make you stronger. Purpose gives you the strength to keep going, no matter what. And this isn't just about achieving goals. This is about impact. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to do the same. You show your family, your friends, and even strangers what's possible. Your journey isn't just for you. It's for everyone you will influence along the way. So now the final challenge. Try this for one day. Live intentionally. Make every action align with your bigger purpose and see what happens. Because once you experience what it feels like to truly live with purpose, you will never want to go back. Your life is your legacy. Make it one worth remembering.